Parsha Shlach, Chapter 1, The Taste of the Land Before Time. The wind over Midbar Paran did not blow, it called, not like any earthly breath, but like the tearing of a silence so ancient it had no beginning. It cracked across the dunes like the first utterance of Yehi Or, tearing space from formlessness, light from the unspoken. Each gust was not air, but divine speech, raw syllables from the Otsmus, the infinite essence constantly creating this desolate stage of dust and fire. The camp of Yisrael, millions upon millions, was not still. Each tent quivered, not from fear, but from the unbearable tension of being on the edge of promise. Like lungs breathing prophecy, the nation inhaled and exhaled eternity. At the center of this seething, trembling mass, the Ohel Moed stood like a paradox, formless yet formed, finite yet containing the uncontainable. Here, the fire never consumed, because the flame was not of this world. It was the whisper of the Creator sitting on his throne inside the word nothing. Moshe stood alone. He had not slept in 80 years. Not truly. The fire in his bones had long since consumed sleep itself. He had looked into the afterglow of the infinite, not the face, the back, the place where reality begins to shatter into concepts like time, space, and man. And now the people spoke. Let us send men before us. It was not a demand. It was a whisper, a desire born not from doubt, but from the desire to contain the Otsmus in sight, in taste, in evidence. Moshe turned to the cloud. It hovered not like mist, but like intention itself made visible. Send for yourself. The voice did not command. It allowed. Permission was worse than a decree. So 12 flames were lit. 12 men, each a shard of the great mirror that was Yisrael. Each a tribal head, but more than that, a carrier of a world within a world. 12 windows through which the land would be seen or rejected. Among them stood 2 whose souls were not of this earth. Yehoshua ben Nun, whose breath had been filled with the syllables of Moshe until he no longer knew where his will ended and the Creator's began. And Caleb ben Yefuneh, who would later walk alone to Chevron, where the fathers of the world lay, and beg the bones of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov to anchor his heart when the earth itself would tilt. They departed, not walking, but being sent, like arrows shot not from bows, but from divine necessity. They crossed the edge of the known, past the boundary where heaven brushed dirt, where giants walked, and clusters of grapes were so heavy that they bent dimensions. The land was not a place, it was a mirror, and it reflected back not what you saw, but what you were. In Chevron, the air itself hummed, like standing too close to the soul of the world. The soil beneath their feet wasn't brown, it was blood, time coagulated. Their steps didn't make sound, they made memory. And in the valley, they saw the giants, not metaphors, not symbols, real beings whose very names twisted reality. Anakim, Rephaim, Nephilim, creatures from before the flood, leftovers of cosmic wars. The spies did not fall. They folded inward. Each saw the same thing, but their inner eyes were darkened by a single unbearable fear. What if the land is true, but we are not? Caleb stood still. The wind in the valley screamed, but he heard only one voice. The Otsmus, not in thunder, not in fire. In the silence inside his bones that said, you are not seeing giants, you are seeing your reflection. Now choose what you believe, your size or mine. The mission ended. They returned with fruit that dripped with an otherworldly sweetness so intense it caused nausea. The clusters were so large they had to be carried on poles, but no one tasted them. Not truly, because the spies told a different story. They told a story of smallness. We were like grasshoppers in our eyes, and so we were in theirs. And the people wept, not from fear, but from the betrayal of their own greatness. In the night, the Otsmus roared through the camp not as vengeance, but as a father watching his children choose exile over eternity. And then he said to Moshe, as you have said, so I will do. But not now. Let them walk. Let them taste the desert. Let their children walk into what they rejected. To be continued. Chapter 2. The bones of giants. Next time we'll enter the desert exile itself, where Caleb's heart splits open. Yehoshua walks in the shadow of prophecy, and a cosmic twist tears open the illusion of space and time itself, revealing the Otsmus hidden in the dust of refusal. Shall we continue to chapter 2?